I did the dumbest thing you could ever do. I started drinking. And the Lord was so kind to me. He even gave me a song to write that you can request too. Again, I don't charge a penny, and I never will. This is about Jesus. You want it? Here, take it. Here, you can hear the song. The Lord gave me a song, and it really helped me to begin healing from that experience. And it is a brutal song. It's not obviously for entertainment, but it's my best attempt to musically depict that torment called the Screaming Chamber. Anyways, but I just started falling worse and worse into drinking. My marriage was not doing good, and I didn't know what to do. I had basically given up on her. Again, nothing is all her fault. We were two damaged people, but I had basically given up on her, and I think maybe she'd basically given up on me, and I was just starting to turn to the bottle more and more and more. And what had become an escape for me, I just wanted to drink enough to just shut out the depression. I was feeling so depressed. And if I drank, I got to a certain point where I would think that, at least I wasn't thinking about it anymore, but it was just becoming a vicious cycle. She and I ended up getting divorced, sadly. And once I was divorced, I realized I could drink all I wanted, whenever I wanted now. I can do whatever I want. And instead of calling on the name of the Lord, instead of turning to Him, I turned to the bottle, hardcore. And that's all I did. Wrote music and drank. And the drinking, it got to the point where I wasn't, I was drinking because I had to drink. I remember the day that it was 8 in the morning. I wake up. I would wake up and I'm still drunk. I wasn't even hungover yet. I was drinking all day, every day, sunrise to sunset until I blacked out. Wake up, do it all over again. If I woke up and reached for the bottle and it was empty, there was a liquor store I could walk to. It was that close to where I lived. And I'd be pacing in front of that door at 7:58 a.m., waiting for that sign to flip to open. Getting a divorce wasn't enough to shake me out of it. Getting a DUI wasn't enough to shake me out of it. And I'm just going to briefly get into this, but then I was hospitalized for pancreatitis. That was bad. I was in ICU for almost 3 weeks. That doctor basically said, you should be dead. The fact you're alive is a miracle. You need to get help, Joel. I had to learn how to walk all over again. I had to learn how to, it was terrifying. But as soon as I got home, there I was at the liquor store. I'd become completely enslaved to it. And this went on and on. It just didn't matter. I was losing clients left and right. I just wasn't there for them because all I would do is just pull the blankets over my. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be alive. I didn't want to be dead. I just didn't want to exist. And the only way I could get there was keep drinking. You'll get there. And while this kind of stuff's happening, I'm still having spiritual experiences. I'm still having demonic encounters. That's basically what's going on. And the whole time, I'm praying prayers kind of like this. Dear Lord, I'm sorry. Please take it away. Jesus, I want you to make things like they used to be. Amen. Jesus, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to fix this. I want you to take away the consequences. And during that period, I was getting absolutely nothing from heaven. I did not feel any of the presence of God whatsoever. And when you come from having that and now you don't, it's terrifying. I was terrified. Not even heavenly crickets, something, anything. And it was, things were only getting worse. Things were only spiraling. I'm praying with tears streaming down my face. Absolutely nothing. What happened? Oh God, are you done? Please tell me you're not done with me. I'm thinking the worst. Well, one day I was in the shower. I'm on my knees, hands clasped, tears streaming down my face, praying like I'd always been praying, thousands of times as far as I know. Please take this away. Jesus, I'm sorry, please. And all of a sudden I heard a tink inside my nose and blood began rushing out of both my nostrils. I never knew that that much blood could come out of someone's nostrils. It was like a dam had just broken open. Blood was gushing all down my body, all down. The tub was all red. I panicked. And at first I went back and I tried to cut my nose and tilt my head back, but I was just coughing up blood. And suddenly in that moment, that was the first moment that I felt death. I actually felt the presence of death. It's ice cold. It's lonely. It's sad. I felt death. And that was the first time. It wasn't like I was asked, you know what, idle. I wasn't. I was done fighting. I had no more fight left in me. I had tried everything. I had been to Christian groups. I had tried this drug. I had tried that medication. I had tried acupuncture. I had tried hypnotherapy. I had tried a real expensive group, an in-house group. That cost a pretty penny. Did me no good. I was even trying experimental biometric repolarization therapy. I'll never forget that one. I look like Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. They put that thing on your head with all the wires. I didn't care. Well, I'll try it. Nothing. It was only getting worse. And now there was death right there. And I just gave up in that moment. I decided to sit back in the tub. I was going to let myself bleed out and I would just fade away. I thought of my mom, of course, and all I could think was, Mom, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thought of my dad. I was like, Dad, I'm so sorry. Don't remember me this way. And then everything just went black. The next thing I feel ice cold water. Stirred me awake and I blink and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in the shower. What happened? What in the world's going on? So I shut the shower off, looking at myself and I see I realized I remembered I'd been bleeding out, but I'm like, oh, it stopped. The blood flow stopped. And then something inside of me snapped. And this is anything that I'm sharing right now. This is what I want to share with the viewers. Are you sick and tired of chasing happiness? Are you sick and tired? It just doesn't seem, regardless of what direction you go, it's just this oasis. It always looks like it's right there. And then when you get there, well, now it's over there. And you've been trying to find it in relationships and pleasure and success and this and that, and you just can't find it. And not only do you not find it, you're starting to find that you're actually enslaved to it. It's like you're a slave. You just can't help yourself, but chase after it, chase after it. And all it does is lead you further away, further and further into the void. God, I pray that you're there, because that's where in that moment I finally got to that place. And I realized something. I realized that I had been treating Jesus like a vending machine. I had been inserting my faith, pressing the button of the victories that I wanted and expecting Jesus to corkscrew it out into the catch bin. That's exactly how I was treating the King of Kings, who loved me and gave his life for me. And if you don't mind, can I ask you, is that how maybe what your prayers have been? Something like that. Take it away. Make it like it used to be. I realize I've been saying, Jesus, I want you to do this. Jesus, I want you to do that. But never once did I ever say, Jesus, I just want you. I want you, who you are, to come into this mess, such as it is. Come in, please. Just come in. If I have you, I have everything. If I don't have you, I have nothing. And in that moment, this righteous anger began to form within me. This resolve, it was like a laser beam. And I'm saying this is good, this in a good way too, because I was not in that moment about to put the Lord to the test. But what I was about to do was to declare what he himself said and show him that I was no longer messing around. The only expectations I had of him is that, and it was a knowing expectation, you keep your word above everything. Even your own glory, you hold your own word above everything else. When you say this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. Lord, I'm holding you to it right now because I'm about to die, literally die. And in that moment, I heard within me, ask, and it'll be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you. Which I would have thought most people would think those words might be comforting. You know what? They weren't. It was as if they prodded me all the more, because that's what I thought I had been doing all these years. All the therapies and all the groups and all the church meetings and all the therapists and all the thises and all the thatses. And I looked up, I'm like, I guess I haven't been really seeking you. I've just, I'll show up to the meeting. Oh, that didn't work. I guess I'll try this pill. Oh, that didn't work. I wasn't seeking Jesus, just Jesus. Just him. Not churchianity, not Pastor So, no disrespect to him. Talk to people, because all we're going to do is point you to Jesus. But it was my time to stop looking out here and to start looking up. And everything in me just concentrated into this focus. And I looked up to heaven. We were in the shower, not even clothed. I didn't care anymore. I said, you know what? From now on, I am not going to knock on your door. From now on, I am going to pound on your door. I am no longer going to call on your name, Jesus. From this moment on, I am going to scream your name. And I am not going to stop pounding on your door. And I am not going to stop screaming your name until one of two things happen. I'm looking up to heaven and I'm saying this to heaven, not realizing heaven's listening right now, Joel. But I was going for it. It was now or never. I will not stop calling, screaming your name and pounding on your door until one of two things happens, Jesus. Either one, you come to me and you save me right now. You come into my life once and for all. Or B, I'm going to die pounding on your door and screaming your name.